Have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was the dream? Not one single dream, but often I'll dream that I've met a girl that I'm madly in love with, and when I wake up I feel like I've lost a soulmate. Really strange and sort of depressing. I've had this same feeling, like an actual emotionally strong developed bond just disappears very slowly as you wake up, in the shower 10 minutes after waking up. Fuck man, that sucks. By the end of the day, wait, who? The redhead with the brunette. Did she have glasses? Shit, I remember them big boobas though. Was exploring a jungle with a group of our assumed friends. We ended up discovering some kind of temple, but it was dark so we decided to set up camp. I was charged with gathering dry wood and leaves for the fire, while macheteing my way through vines. I heard my name being screamed by one of the group members in a terrified way, repeatedly. Woke up to see my mom yelling my name and to get the fuck up already. I never found out what that temple was. Edit. I have never watched any adventure movies like Indiana Jones or Jumanji, nor have I played any Uncharted game. This is going to sound crazy, but I had a dream exactly like that and one of the people in the camp went missing. But it continued and we found out there were jaguars in the area. I'm not joking about this at all. Same dream and I've had it multiple times. We are exploring after finding the temple. I guess it was always a very obviously ancient but important ruin that we had to explore. I get tasked with finding brush or twigs or dry wood. I'm walking around and I just hear the scariest shrill. I run and a man is there. He ties me to a barbecue/grill and asks me to pick a war. I wake up. I learned I could fly, but I had to teach myself. Woke up right as I was gearing up for the big test to see how high I could go. Force myself back to sleep and lem tell ya, flying in a dream is way too fucking fun. LOL, I had a similar dream but it had its weird mechanics. Like I couldn't just run and fly, I had to run, jump and kick out like I was laying down to fly, and I could control it by tilting myself forward or back. LOL. Anyways, I was showing my friends when they get angry cause they can't do it so they start throwing rocks at me, so I start flying higher and higher to get away, but I panic cause I'm scared of heights and then I wake up. Best and one of the worst dreams cause I'm scared of heights. In my head I think I fell and died cause I couldn't remember how to lower myself. There is an art, or rather, an act of flying. The knack lies in learning how to throw yourself at the ground and miss. A long time, I had a dream that there were ghosts living in my family's garage. Nowhere else, just the garage. I somehow became friends with one, but she was unable to speak to me, leave the property that the house was on, and wasn't able to show any facial expressions. That wouldn't be considered terrifying. Me and my ghost friend were playing on the house porch and two guys were trying to break into the house. She tried to stop them by scaring the living heck out of them by making a terrifying face and screaming the most blood-curdling scream ever right in their faces. I wasn't able to see the face she made, but I somehow knew it was there, and all I could hear was the scream. The people trying to rob the house ran off, but instead of celebrating, I curled up and started crying because of how terrifying the scream was. I absolutely loved that ghost, and I forgot that her whole purpose was to scare people, but she did it to protect me and the house. I still cried though, and she tried to cheer me up the best way she could. Then I woke up. I knew that was a dream, but I didn't want to leave my ghost friend alone, knowing the last time she saw me was when she scared me to tears by accident. I tried to go back to sleep, and I did, and I somehow successfully re-entered the dream. Only it was several years in the future. The garage still had a couple of ghosts in it, but not nearly as much, and the rest seemed to be oblivious to humans. I was going into the attic and found some pictures in there of me around the age I was friends with the ghost, and on a picture I saw a very faint image of her face standing next to me. I went down the attic and woke up. I didn't get to tell the ghost that I forgive her or anything, and I still feel some sort of emotional attachment to her. It was probably the best nightmare I've ever had, and one of the dreams I wanted to go back to the most, just so I can tell her that there are no hard feelings. You have been visited by Money Pigeon. Like the video and subscribe within 5.6 seconds and you will get rich. Now back to scheduled programming. I was friends with Jesus in the modern day and he was sound, not preachy. One of the lads like, Did he by any chance tell you to kill the President of the United States by spinning really fast? Were you also coincidentally in a horse race? Did you also happen to be a cripple? And did being a cripple not really come into the story that much for some reason except when the author decided it was relevant? And by any chance were you chased by multiple versions of the president who somehow shared the same consciousness? I have a story about when the opposite of this happened. It was a fucking epic fantasy dream. Let me tell ya, evil wizard of some sort that I'm pretty sure was my 8th grade math teacher, kidnapped princess, a worthless but snappy sidekick that was my best friend IRL. This dream had everything. So I beat the bad guy, rescued the princess and brought her back to a village of, I think Uoks or something. I dunno. Big celebration. Everybody went hooray and stuff and then, it didn't end. We just kinda stood there looking at each other. It felt like a long time. The Uoks just kinda start milling around and doing their everyday shit. Made some small talk with the princess, and then eventually the dream ended and I woke up. It was a strange one. I had one where I was wandering through my hometown for what felt like hours, and eventually the dream became lucid, and the dream dragged on, and I was just walking around looking at stuff. Eventually I started thinking that I'm probably late for school, since the dream went on for so long, and I tried to figure out a way to get myself to wake up. I tried lying down on the ground and thought that people walking on me would probably do it, but it didn't. I didn't feel a thing. So I lied down in the middle of the road and a car hit me, and right before it hit me I woke up, in the middle of the night. I figured out how to lucid dream pretty young, and I found that, when I tried to control the dream too much I'd wake myself up, but if I just kinda let the narrative continue and stay within the framework of the dream I could do whatever. In my early hormonal teen years this led me to try to stick my dream dick in pretty much anything with 2 legs. That was kind of a wash though because I was a virgin and I didn't know what the fuck sex was supposed to feel like anyway. A few months before I got married I had a dream where Bill Murray was attending my wedding and asked to make a toast. I happily agreed. Then, before I could hear the toast, I woke up. Bill Murray is a national treasure. SHHH. Nicolas Cage will hear you. When I wake up in the morning, I usually have about 13 more minutes before I have to actually get out of bed. If I'm having a dream before I wake up and I go back to sleep, I can usually continue the dream. Last night I had a dream that I was in some kind of resort / Jurassic Park like area. I went back to sleep this morning and managed to get into a relationship with a pretty hot dude who was working at the resort. I died in one of my dreams, so that was startling, but I was dead for a good 15 seconds or so in my dreams, so that was interesting to say the least. I die in my dreams all the time. I usually just end up in spectator mode. I think I've been playing too many video games. What's the respawn time? I dreamt that I was part of some Eastern European resistance movement who had to speak in code and hide out in abandoned manors in the forest to plan our attacks against some fascist regime. We enlisted the Pope to help us, but when we went to meet him he has double-crossed us because the regime we were fighting somehow knew the Pope was gay and was going to tell everyone. I woke up then, not knowing if my resistance group was executed, or if we escaped somehow. I call it my gay Pope dream. I had a nightmare about being a teenage girl with a group of friends on bikes hiding from and hunting down a shadow monster that killed dogs, and we tracked it down to some abandoned house and tried to rescue the dogs, but one of the dogs started barking and I had to try and calm it down before the monster came and got us, and my friends screamed from another room but the do. Then I woke up and I will never know if those dogs survived. Hell if I know. All of my dreams fade away 20 seconds after I try to tell them to someone. The most I will ever remember is the feeling that the dream was awesome and that I want to go back. Never can. I don't remember. You can really spin a yarn, Karen. Let me tell you. I had a non-sexual threesome dream where my wife and I met a woman at a shopping mall and ended up at home lying in bed together with me in the middle. There was a feeling of complete contentment that lasted for days after that dream. However, that's all that happened in it. I'd kind of like to return to it and get to the implied sexy bits. I never even got to see the other woman naked. My ex and I got back together and she told me she's pregnant. I felt happy and fulfilled like never before. After I woke up, the entire day was so ruined I didn't even know how to deal with it. Just wanted to dream for the rest of my life. Okay, so me and a bunch of people started a band called Opalescent, which was an 8-person a cappella band that sung about global warming and multi-level marketing and politics. There were 3 boys and 4 girls. There were memories and everything. It felt so real, and when I woke up I was upset as hell. I'm not Pan. I'm talking about the other people. 3 boys, 4 girls and me. This is Golden Mr. Skeletal. It appears only once every 20,000 years. Like the video and subscribe to comment awards in 20 seconds or you will never have calcium and good bones again. On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, 1 lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted. Have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was the dream? Not one single dream, but often I'll dream that I've met a girl that I'm madly in love with, and when I wake up I feel like I've lost a soulmate. Really strange and sort of depressing. I've had this same feeling, like an actual emotionally strong developed bond just disappears very slowly as you wake up. In the shower 10 minutes after waking up. Fuck man, that sucks. By the end of the day, wait, who? The redhead with the, wait, brunette. Did she have glasses? Shit, I remember them big boobas though. Was exploring a jungle with a group of I assume friends. We ended up discovering some kind of temple, but it was dark so we decided to set up camp. I was charged with gathering dry wood and leaves for the fire, while macheteing my way through vines. I heard my name being screamed by one of the group members in a terrified way, repeatedly. Woke up to see my mom yelling my name and to get the fuck up already. I never found out what that temple was. Edit. I have never watched any adventure movies like Indiana Jones or Jumanji, nor have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was the dream? Not one single dream, but often I'll dream that I've met a girl that I'm madly in love with, and when I wake up I feel like I've lost a soulmate. Really strange and sort of depressing.